So starting this evening's practice, sitting on your mats, and we're going to practice, after we've settled into our breathing, we're going to practice Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. And the way we do this, we take our index finger and middle finger, placing them on the forehead. The thumb goes in one nostril and the ring finger goes in the other. Closing one nostril, we inhale through the open one. We then swap the nostrils and exhale through the other. Inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other, inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other. So we'll begin with our natural breath, just passing it through the nostrils, and then we'll start to breathe deeper. But before we do that, sitting comfortably, however works for you, cross-legged, kneeling, just so long as you can tilt your pelvis forwards, lengthening in your spine, opening your heart, softening your shoulders, closing your eyes. Breathing normally, breathing naturally. Start to bring your awareness, concentration, bring your focus into your breath as it is. Becoming aware of how you've been breathing all day. No thoughts need thinking about. Move from your head, come into your heart. Be in your breath. Observing how your current breath is a reflection of your internal state. How your mind is, how you're feeling. The two reflect the other. As you tune in, as you become aware of how you're feeling, do not wish otherwise. Do not try to change anything. Accept how you are now. And then placing the fingers on the forehead, continue breathing in the same way, but now passing the breath through the nostrils. So however your breathing is, not yet changing it, just practicing passing the breath in through one nostril, out through the other, in through the same, out through the other. Keep it calm. Keep your breath normal. Not breathing harder, not breathing faster. Again, your natural breath. Find the rhythm. Keep it smooth, keep it soft. If you like, bring a pause between the inhale and the exhale, just suspending the breath for a moment. Up to you how long you do this, up to you if you do this at all. Maybe you should keep your breath the same. If you like, deepening your breath. So breathing in for longer, up to you if you pause, exhaling just as long as the inhale. So now deepening your breath, starting to take control of your breathing. Deepen the breath, slow your breathing, calm your body, energizing, bringing energy into your body, oxygen in the cells, electricity in the body. Feel the movement of your whole body with every breath. Constant movement between the expansion and contraction, growing bigger and then shrinking. Anchor your awareness inside yourself. Stay out of the head, stay out of the mind. Allow yourself to feel. A little bit longer, a few more breaths, keep it going. Deep belly breathing. And then bringing your hand away from your face, but continue to breathe deeply. The same level of focus on your breathing. Breathing through both nostrils, deep belly breaths. Cool air coming in through the nostrils, warm air coming out. Use your abdominals, your core muscles to help your diaphragm. Pulling more air into your lungs. Squeezing more breath out of the body. And so this is how we will aim to breathe for the remainder of your practice. Breathing calm, under control, remaining energized. So continue breathing. Opening your eyes, placing both feet on your mat, and then wrapping your arms around your legs, squeezing yourselves as tightly and as small as you can. So feel your belly moving against your thighs. As you breathe in, the belly pushing the thighs. As you exhale, squeeze the belly button into the spine. Deeper, stronger breathing. Feel your shoulder blades breathing to the back of your ribcage, the back of your lungs. And then bring the forehead to your knees, chin to the chest, just rolling onto your backs. And then on your spines, rocking backwards and forwards. So maybe just holding your shins to make it a little bit easier, but give your spine a massage. So massaging each vertebra in your spine, rocking backwards and forwards, maybe coming to the back of the head, giving the back of the head a massage as well. And coming to stillness on your spine. So bring the forehead to the knees as close as you can, your shoulder blades high off the floor. Bring your arms either side of you, palms facing the ceiling, and then shoot the legs up towards the ceiling. So pushing through the heels, lock the knees in. Your lower back is flat to your mats. Bring your legs as far down as you can without your lower back lifting away. So lower back stays flat to the floor, breathing here. Shoulder blades high off the mats. Pushing through the heels, deep belly breaths. One more breath. And then bring the knees back into the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, giving yourself a little squeeze, bring the breathing under control. And then we're going to do that one more time with the option of going a bit further. So again, arms either side of you, palms facing the ceiling, shoot the legs up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades high off your mats. Point through the toes this time, bring your legs as low as you can, lower back flat to the floor, and then arms behind the head, crossing the thumbs, pointing through the fingers, lengthening through the whole of your body. One more breath, And then bringing the knees back to the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, and again rocking along the spine. So this time, looking to build some momentum so that without your hands, you come straight up to standing. Come to standing at the top of your mats. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine, rolling shoulder blades back towards each other, palms facing the front. Deep belly breath in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling, reaching up the ceilings, deep belly breath. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the right foot steps back, comes to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, king back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding into cobra, pushing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left foot between the hands. Inhaling, reach up the ceilings, pressing down through the heels. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling, long through the side bodies, reaching up at the ceiling. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the left foot steps back, comes to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding into cobra, pushing hips down, lifting shoulders. Exhaling, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right foot between the hands. Inhaling, reaching up the ceilings, pressing down through the heels. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. So one more round. Same again, but a little bit different. So breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling, last time, reach up the ceiling through the whole of your body. Exhaling, bend the knees, fingertips touch the mats, keep the bums low, lift the hands high. Imaginary chair pose. So weight concentrated in the heels. If your toes lift, press your toes all back down. Bums lower, hands higher, long through the spine, flat through the back, looking up between the hands. So remember, just a quick check. If you look down, you can't see all 10 toes, so you need to take your knees further back. Your weight is in your heels, palms lower, hands higher. 2 more breaths. And then folding forwards, hands on the mats, stepping or jumping back to plank. Half press up, chaturanga. Come down low to your mat, elbows close into the body. Holding here for a breath, pushing back through the heels. And then inhaling, upward facing dog. So pressing down on the tops of the feet to lift the knees, lift the hips, pull the chest through the arms, pressing down through the palms. Shoulder blades drawing in as close as you can bring them. Chest coming forwards towards the front of the room. Lengthening through the crown of your head, your shoulders coming away from the ears. If you fancy, wiggle the shoulders, wiggle the hips. Two more breaths. As we exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior ones, reaching up for the ceiling. Exhaling, folding forwards, hands on the mats, kicking back to plank. Optional, right leg lifted. Everyone press up, up dog. Right toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior ones. Exhaling, folding forwards, hands on the mats, kicking back to plank. Optional, left leg lifted. Everyone press up, up dog. Left toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. Hop, step or jump back to your forward fold. Feet together between the hands, and then holding your elbows, hanging out the hips. Deep belly breaths. So pressing down through the heels, your toes are spread wide, gripping through your toes. Straighten the legs as much as you can, keeping a tiny bend in the knees so your muscles are doing the work. Tilt the pelvis forwards, hanging out the hips, softening, lengthening through the whole of your spine. Forehead coming to the shins, crown of the head coming to your toes. And then in your forward fold, grab the backs of your legs, so your lower forearm is against the back of your calf muscles. Pull your forehead as close as you can, and then bend your knees to completely rest your stomach and chest on your thighs. Bring your forehead even closer to your shins, and then don't let your forehead get any further away from your legs as you straighten the legs backwards, push the knees back, taking them as far as you can before your head comes away. 3 more breaths here. And then placing your hands on your mat, stepping or jumping back to plank. Nice and slowly, lowering down. So keep your elbows close into the body, landing belly and chest on your mats at the same time. So when you're here, arms along the floor, palms on the floor. We're going to bring the right hand onto the mats and then stack the right side of your body on top of the left. So the left hand doesn't move. You're lying on the left side of your body, looking up towards the ceiling. The right hand comes up and over behind the back. So clasping the fingers, pushing the hands away. If you're bringing the right hand behind your back and you can't grab a hold of your left fingers, bring the left hand closer to you, grab a hold and then push the arms away. So you want to lock the elbows in, have your shoulder blades close. The left shoulder, the left armpit is open. This is option 1. For option 2, bend the right knee, place the right foot on the floor behind the left knee. For option 3, both feet on the floor and the knees are together. And then option 4, your legs are falling the same direction as your arms. So wherever you are, strong breaths. Feel the inhale expand in the left shoulder. As you exhale, practice letting go, soften that area, release the tension in the muscles. 1 more breath, and then rolling back onto your bellies. So going the other way. Now the right hand stays where it is, left hand on your mats, stacking the left side of the body on top of the right, head off the floor, looking up towards the ceiling. Left hand up and over behind the back, clasping the fingers, pushing the hands away, elbows locked in. And again, keep the head off the floor so all of the weight of your body is on the right shoulder. So for option 1, staying here. For option 2, bending the left knee, left foot on the floor behind the right knee. Option 3, feet together, knees and thighs together. And option 4, dropping your legs the same direction as your arms. Deep breaths, breathing through the nose. Wherever you are, try to surrender more weight into the shoulder, to the arm. Feel the twist on the spine. 1 more breath. And then coming back onto your bellies. So the hands on the floor at shoulder height. Looking to the right side of the room. Throw your right toes to the left fingers. So try to bring them as close as you can. Make sure the hands don't move. Don't bring the fingers to the toes. Try to get the toes to the fingers. If they don't reach, doesn't matter. Just go as far as you can. And then feel the opening through the front of your body. The weight of the right leg twisting the spine. Breathing here. Deep belly breaths. Feel your breath as you inhale, traveling down the whole of your spine. As you exhale, open the body. Let go. One more breath. And then rolling back onto your bellies. So looking to the left side of the room, throw the left toes to the right fingers. Again, get them as close as you can and then leave them there, breathing wherever you are. Feel the twist on the spine. The weight of the left leg taking you further. Again, don't move the hands. Keep the hands grounded down. Toes coming to the fingers. 2 more breaths. Deeper inhales, longer exhales. And then coming back onto your bellies. Bringing both hands onto your mats. Elbows close into the body. Spread the fingers wide. Tucking the toes. Push back through the heels. Your knees and your hips are lifting off the floor. Engage your core, so no peeling. Shoulders and hips lift at the same time. High plank. From high plank, downward facing dog. So back in your downward facing dog, looking at your left ankle, reaching through with the right hand and grabbing a hold, putting yourself underneath the left armpit. So the left arm is strong, holding your body weight. You're pressing down through your heels, keeping the legs strong, and the right hand is pulling you underneath the left armpit, so you're twisting on the spine, looking off to the left side of the room. Strong breaths, pressing down through the heels, pushing away from the left shoulder. And then coming back to your downward facing dog, holding the weight on the right hand, the left hand reaching through, grabbing hold of the right ankle, twisting under the right armpit, looking off to the right side of the room. Again, hips high, press down through the heels, pull yourself under the armpit. So right fingers spread nice and wide, press down through the length of all of your fingers. And then coming back to your downward facing dog. Bring your left foot more central to your mats, press down through the left heel as you lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. So point through the right toes, bring your forehead closer to the left knee, lift the right leg even higher. Lifting the left heel high up in the air, bring your forehead closer to the left knee, point through the right toes, lifting the right leg even higher. And then slowly bending the right knee, bring the right knee into the chest and then stepping the right foot between the hands. Dropping the left knee to the floor, top of the left is on the mat. As we inhale, reaching up to the ceiling, exhaling, crescent moon lunge, sinking forwards with the hips, lunging towards the right heel. So remember, for a deeper lunge, for more space, you can take that right foot further out in front of you. Try to draw the arms behind your head. So keeping the spine long as you lengthen through the crown of your head, reaching through the arms, feel the length from the hips through the side body, out through the fingers. Try to pull the arms behind your head. It's up to you how much of a back bend you bring into this pose, but eventually maybe looking up to the ceiling, the intention is for both hands to be holding onto your left foot behind you. Two more breaths. And then inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, exhaling, placing both hands in front of your left knee. Turn on your left knee, so now your left foot comes underneath you, you're facing off to the left side of the room. Walk your right toes further away from you. And try to press down through the whole sole of your right foot with your hips on the inside of your left knee. Hands reach up to the ceiling as you inhale. Bring the right hand behind the right leg. As you exhale, reach the left hand over towards the right toes. So we're lengthening, reaching out of the left hip through the left side of the body. We're not resting weight on the right hand. So maybe just place it on the belly if that helps. You can put the hand on the leg or on the floor, but again, we don't want to get lazy. We don't just want to be holding our body weight using the right arm. We're trying to use these muscles as we breathe into the left lung to hold the body weight as we reach over towards the right toes. 2 more breaths. And then inhaling, reaching up for the ceiling, exhaling, folding forwards, hands either side of the right leg. So keep your right leg straight out in front of you. As you slide back, come to sit on your left heel. So you're on your left shin, right leg stretched out in front of you. Tilt from the pelvis, lengthen through your spine, walk your hands away from you. Keep pulling your right toes back towards you. If you can, grab a hold of your toes. And then you're trying to lead with a long spine, with a flat back, trying to pull your chest to your toes. So you're not yet round in the spine, you're not looking to bring the forehead to your shin. You're looking at your toes, pulling yourself out of your hips, coming out the hips, down the leg. So use both hands on the right foot, pulling the toes back. Close your eyes. Feel your breath expanding in your body, in those biting points, those areas where you can feel this pose working at its deepest. This little biting point where the mind and the body are holding on just a little bit too tight. Try to invite space in that little area. 2 more breaths. And then coming forwards, hands on the mats, kicking the right leg back, downward facing dog. Option to rest, option to freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right foot, center of your mat, pressing down through the heel, lifting the left leg, pointing through the left toes. Pulling your forehead close to the right knee, lift the left leg even higher. Be strong from the shoulders, pressing down through the whole of your hands. Lifting the right heel, heel high up in the air, forehead close to the left knee, left leg lifting even higher. And slowly, as you bend the left knee comes into the chest, rolling forwards, and then placing the left foot between the hands. Right knee to the floor, top of the right foot on the mat. Inhaling up for the ceiling, exhaling, crescent moon lunge. So again, deep in the hips. So try to be squaring your hips to the front of your mat. Pull the left hip back, right hip forwards. This will help with your balance, bringing stability to the pose. If that doesn't help enough with your balance, take your left foot more to the left side of your mat, wider platform for you to work over. Again, up to you how much of a back bend you bring into this pose. Two more breaths. And then inhaling, reaching up for the ceiling, exhaling, hands in front of your right knee. Pull the right leg underneath you, twisting on the right knee, looking off to the right side of the room. Straighten your left leg away from you, pressing down through the whole of your left foot. And your hips are on the inside of your right knee. So, inhaling, hands up to the ceiling. Left hand behind the left leg as we exhale, reaching the right hand to the left toes. So the top shoulder blade is pulling backwards so we can see underneath the arm and up towards the ceiling, and then lengthening out of the right hip, breathing into the right lung. Use the space you've created. Two more breaths. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhaling, folding forwards, hands either side of the left leg. Bringing the right leg back underneath you. And then sliding back to sitting on the right heel. Left leg locked out in front of you. Again, from the hips, tilt the pelvis, lengthen through the spine. Walk your hands away from you. Maybe grabbing a hold of your toes, And then pulling your chest to your toes. So again, not yet looking to round the spine, we're just coming out of the hips, and use your breath. Deeper breaths, eyes closed. Two more breaths. Bring the chest a little bit closer to your toes. And then coming forwards, hands on the mat, kicking the left leg back, downward facing dog. Again, option to rest freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling, upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog. Slowly walking your hands back down towards your feet, and then when you have your hips above your heels, slowly stacking each vertebrae one on top of the other, coming all the way up to standing, standing at the bottom of your mats. Turning sideways, either way that works for you, and then take your legs as wide as you can. So we're setting up for a wide leg forward fold. We want our legs as wide as we can have them, while still being able to have the heels further out than the toes. So you're slightly pigeon-toed. Legs nice and straight, nice and strong, but not totally locking the knees in. Tiny bend in the knees. Hands on the hips, drawing your elbows in as close as you can, and then pivoting from the pelvis, rotating forwards. Bring your shoulders in line with your hips. Upper body is parallel to the floor. Whilst you're here, squeeze your elbows closer, and then looking at your feet. So you want to be pressing to the outsides of your feet, so your arches on your insteps are lifting. So the legs, the outsides of your legs, nice and active, nice and strong. Again, elbows close, long through the spine. One more breath. And then soften the spine, hang the head. Try to bring the crown of your head to touching your mats between the feet. So if you do manage to bring the crown of your head onto your mats, tuck the chin in and look up between your legs. We want our legs to be holding the weight, not resting weight on the crown of the head. And also just make sure, as you keep your legs active, keep pressing to the outside of your feet, that your weight is evenly distributed over the soles of your feet. So make sure you're not sort of sitting with the heels too much or on the balls of the feet. Try and find that balance point where your weight is supported by the whole sole of both of your feet. You can either hold your elbows or keep the hands on the hips, maybe grab a hold of your ankles. Try and pull yourselves deeper into this wide leg forward fold. And whilst you're here, focusing on your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. As you breathe into the muscles, expand them. As you exhale, pull them up inside and keep them under tension, so don't release them at any point. With your breathing, engaging more of your deeper core muscles, moving with your breath, squeezing in, breathing into, squeezing in. Two more breaths. And then walking your hands over to your right foot. If you can, grab a hold of the toes or the ankle. Just grab a hold wherever you can without either of your knees bending. You then try to pull your chest to the right thigh. Keep the legs active, keep them strong. Slowly walking your hands over to your left foot, same with the other side. So again, grab a hold, pull yourself closer, chest coming to your left thigh, legs still strong, pressing to the outsides of your feet. And then slowly coming back to center. So staying as you are, We're going to do that again, but now when we walk our hands over to the right foot, we're going to pull the right heel in, bend the right knee, and come down hips close to the right heel, and the left leg is long as we push through the left heel, toes pointing out towards the ceiling, the left knee can be locked in. So if you come down and hands on the floor, try to get your heels down. The heel may lift, that's fine. If that happens, work with that. Maybe keep the hands on the floor, otherwise you bring the hands in front of the heart as you lengthen through the spine. Keep pushing through the left heel. Main focus of this pose is the inside of that left leg. But if you're feeling this somewhere else, that'll be where this pose works for you. We never need to worry about where we should be feeling a pose. There's no should in yoga. Where it is, what it is how it should be. And then making our way over to the other side, so hands on the mats, shifting the weight over, left foot down, left heel in, straightening through the right leg. Again, you may need to take your left foot more to the left side, just so you have more space to come on the inside of the left leg. Bringing the hands to the heart, pushing through the right heel, right knee locked in, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Again, maybe hands at the heart, otherwise keep the hands on the floor. If the left heel's down, brilliant. If not, don't worry about it. Just get into this pose as close and as best you can in any way your body will allow. Deeper breaths. And nice and gently calming back to centre. So we're going to come back into that, but now move side to side. And as we do, keep your bum as low as you can. So maybe you use your hands, maybe you don't. Just keep your bum low as you shift side to side, moving between the two sides of this posture. So once more, either side. Don't forget to breathe. And coming back to centre, wide leg forward fold. From your wide leg forward fold, have your hands on the floor and walk your hands out in front of you so they're now under the shoulders. Bring your feet closer in, a little bit wider and hip width apart so you can bend your knees. And you want to bring your thighs parallel to the floor, your bum in line with your knees. So maybe you hold here. The option of going further, you lift your heels. If you lift your heels, try to lift them so it looks like your shin's going straight down into your toes. And when you lift your heels, make sure your bum hasn't lifted. So keep the bum in line with your knees. Again, maybe you stay here, otherwise you can bring the hands away from the floor, breathing here, holding the balance. Keep the heels lifted, keep the bums low. A few more breaths. Wherever you are, staying there. And then hands back on the floor, heels back on your mats, coming down to Malasana, deep yogi squats. So pressing to the outside of the feet, the knees are wide, lengthening through the spine, elbows on the inside of your knees, palms pressing together, open the chest. 3 more breaths. And then bring your bums onto the floor. So when you're here, bring your left heel to the outside of your right bum. We're then bringing the right leg over the left, as far as we can. So maybe you work here. What we're looking for is to stack the knees one on top of the other. So right knee on top of the left knee, bum on your mats, in between the heels. So getting settled here, we're then, wherever you are with the legs, you can still do this next part, you bring your left arm under the right arm. You then twist the arms together by bringing the palms together. So you're bringing the left arm around the right arm, palms together. Push your elbows away. Try to bring your elbows in line with your shoulders and keep your hands above your elbows. Sometimes when people do this, they start to bring their hands over their head and their elbows up in front of them. That's fine if you want to do that, but what we're looking to do is get the shoulder blades moving away from each other so you're opening the space in the back of your rib cage. So, wrapping the arms, twisting harder, lifting the hands higher, breathing here. Close your eyes. Breathe into the back of your lungs, the back of your rib cage. Try to open your shoulder blades more. And gently releasing the arms. So the feet stay where they are. We're twisting to the left. And in doing so, we come to the side. So now the left knee should be on top of the right knee, as best you can. If that doesn't work for you, just do it in any way possible. Bringing the left leg over the right leg. Right heel is the outside of the left bum. The left heel is the outside of the right bum. Wherever you are, right arm under the left arm, wrapping the arms, palms together, twisting the arms, pushing the elbows forwards, hands above the elbows, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling, closing your eyes. Again, deep breaths, breathing to the back of your ribcage, back of your lungs. Two more breaths. The expansion of the inhale, the releasing of the exhale, and releasing your arms. Folding forwards, coming onto your hands and knees, and then tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg as high as you can, bending the right knee, coming forwards, shoulders above the wrists, and then placing your right shin onto your mats. So, shin on the floor, right knee on the floor, left leg behind you, top of the foot on the mat, left knee on the floor. Holding here, we're trying to lift and lengthen through the spine, so pulling the shoulder blades backwards, opening the chest. Maybe you keep the hands on the floor, otherwise the option of bringing the hands to the heart. If you want to go further, then the hands reach up to the ceiling, and then try to pull the left hip forwards. So you're actually squaring yourself to the front of your mats. If not, you're actually pulling the left hip further forwards than the right hip, if you can. Feel what that does to your body. And again, the hands reaching up, pulling the arms behind your head, breathing here. Three more breaths, wherever you are. Deeper breaths, slower breathing. And then inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhaling, hands on the mats. Keeping the right leg back. Downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg high, bending the left knee through the arms, shin onto your mat. Right knee on the floor behind you, top of the right foot on the floor. So again, getting that right hip pulling forwards, and then maybe the hands stay on the floor, otherwise bringing the hands to the heart. Maybe staying here, otherwise hands reaching up to the ceiling. Again, pull the right hip forwards and then reach the arms behind you. Up to you how much of a back bend you bring into this pose. But breathe wherever you are. Deeper breaths. And then inhaling up to the ceiling, exhaling, slowly folding forwards, hands on the mats, kicking the left leg back, downward facing dog. Hop, step or jump to Malasana, your deep yogi squats. And then placing your palms onto your mats. Bring the knees to the chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and then roll onto your spines. So now lying on your backs. We're going to do stomach churner. So to do this, lying on your backs, keep the knees to the chest and then bring your arms along the floor at shoulder height, palms facing the ceiling. Keep your knees together, keep your thighs together. Deep breath in. As we exhale, bring the legs to hover above the floor on the right side of your mats. As you twist on the spine, make sure your left shoulder blade doesn't leave the floor. Keep it pressing down, keep grounded down with your left shoulder. If you're twisting and your knees and your thighs come away from each other, sacrifice the distance, pull it back close to the center, get them squeezing together, holding there, breathing here. When you've twisted as far as you can on the spine, pull the knees up into the right armpit and then hold them there. Breathing to the left lung, shoulders pressing down, hands pressing down, palms facing the ceiling, and then as we inhale, bring the legs back to center, exhaling, taking the legs the other way. So again, that right shoulder blade, don't let it leave the floor, knees and thighs squeezing together, twisting as far as you can, and then pulling the knees up into the left armpit. Deeper breaths. One more breath. And then inhaling, calming back to center. So that was option one. For option two, to go further, we straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. So push through the heels, we lock the knees in. This time, again, make sure your shoulder blades don't leave the floor. As we exhale, we bring our toes to hover above the right fingers. As we inhale, come back to center, exhaling, going the other way. So one more time, either with option one or option two. Once again, with the breath, taking it side to side. And then bringing the knees back to the chest, making your way onto your mats. So, we're finishing this evening with headstands. Please be careful. This can be dangerous if you've not done it before. If you haven't done it before, please use a wall. So you'll be facing a wall as you practice this, and if you do think of going up the wall, you'll have the wall behind you to catch you. If you're using a wall and you're next to someone else, be careful if you fall sideways. Obviously you may hurt each other, so give yourself some space, or maybe just do one at a time. So, there's many steps toward a headstand, so we don't have to be going straight for the full final pose straight away. So, for a headstand, we need to know where the crown of our head is. So place your thumb between your eyebrows, your hand flat to your head, and where your fingertips land, this is the crown. So this is the part of your head you're going to be putting weight on top of. It's normally a bit further back than people think it is. So, to begin, just place that part of your head on the floor. So on your hands and knees, already there's weight on the head. This might be enough. If this is new to you, if you've not done this much, already putting that much weight on the top of your head might feel quite uncomfortable, so you're going to work there. To go further, as we move into a headstand, we're going to use a tripod foundation using our arms. So our forearms will be on the floor. You want your elbows to be about shoulder distance apart. This gives you a really strong platform to go up into a headstand. And with your fingers, place one hand on top of the other. You don't want to clasp your fingers, because if you do, If you do fall out of it, you may crush your fingers or it may just catch. It might be quite uncomfortable, quite painful. So place one hand on top of the other. You're then placing the crown of your head between your hands, and the back of your head is against your palms. So, again, if this is new to you, you may want to stay here. Otherwise, to bring more weight onto the head, tuck your toes, lift your knees and lift your hips. So now you can feel there is more weight on the crown of your head. Again, maybe you can stay here, just breathing here, getting used to this. Otherwise, for more weight on the head, bring the feet closer towards your face. Your hips are more above your shoulders. Eventually, we're looking to lift the legs and then straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. So obviously if you have a wall behind you, you'll have that support. You can bring your feet onto the wall and get used to being upside down. When you want to come out, bend your knees, bring them into your chest, and then bring your feet onto your mats. So, that's a headstand. Again, just be careful, be mindful, be sensible. Now, if you're quite familiar with your headstands and you're looking for something a bit more, we can do a forearm stand. Pinch your myrosunio. Now, the easiest way to move into that pose is with a headstand against the wall. So, even if you're good at your headstands, use the wall anyway if this is your first time doing a forearm stand. So, close to the wall, coming up into a headstand. So in your headstand, placing your feet on the wall. Bring your elbows in closer and then place your hands flat on the floor. So palms on the floor and fingers are spread wide. We're then looking to push away from the shoulders and lift our head off the floor, looking at where the crown of your head just was. So now, the weight on the forearms, pressing down through the elbows, through the hands, looking at the floor. From here, we then look to bring the feet away from the wall. Bring yourselves to forearm stand, and then when you're ready, coming down. So, if you want to keep practicing there, pause the video for now. Otherwise, when you're ready, coming to Shavasana, final relaxation. So feet in the corners of your mats, flopped to either side, palms facing the ceiling, hands away from the body. Have space between the legs, space in your armpits. If there's any complaints in your lower back, if you bend your knees, place your feet mat width apart and the knees can rest against each other. This way, you're not having to use the body to hold the legs up. You can just totally let go, relax. Wherever you are, try and bring each vertebrae in your spine to make contact with the floor, so lower back, back of the neck. Once they've made contact, soften, let go, release everything. Lengthening through the back of the neck so the chin tucks in slightly. You're just bringing as much of your spine to be supported by the floor as possible. And then nothing left to do. Just close your eyes. Let go of control of your breath. Breathing easy. Just breathing naturally. Starting to observe how your breath is now. Still no thoughts need thinking about. So be in your body, in every breath, feeling every inhale, every exhale. Feeling every breath as it moves into the other. How the inhale gives way to the exhale gives way to the inhale, and it keeps going. Your body moving with every breath. Your body changing with every breath. For a little while longer, just staying out of your head, remaining in your heart. Maybe for now you keep your awareness anchored in your breathing, unless you can feel your heart. Can you feel every heartbeat? Your heart pumping inside of you. Spend some time in your heart space, your Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. The same way that your breath continues without any effort whatsoever, so too does your heart. Give it some time to recognize all the work that it does. How often do you slow down? Slow down enough to tune in and feel your heart inside of you. The beating of your heart, creating the pulse of your body. The sensation of your heart can be felt in every part of your being. As the blood pumps around your body, you can feel it. Maybe your pulse is more prominent in certain areas of your body. Try to explore the spaces around these areas where your pulse is a little bit more quiet. But if you spend enough time there, you will find it. In time, eventually, feeling the pulse in the whole of your body. Each part of you beating. And And when you're ready, breathing deeply, getting ready to move.